Okay. Yay! Welcome. So tonight Chris and I, we were driving this weekend, and we were just talking about recognizing our miracles, and we're not recognizing our miracles. So, like a little background story of, of who I am. I was raised one foundation, then I had like no belief in any type of anything for a long time. Then I went to another denomination, and I was in that for a while, and then I kind of moved into a different realm of. I don't want to use the buzzword spirituality, but I guess we can call it that if we want to. Um, but one of the things that I noticed is that when I was, tightly affiliated with um, a faith that was like real specific, and if you do these things, then God blesses you this way. And so then paying attention, like almost like this constant reaffirmation of paying attention to my blessings that were bestowed upon me from God because I was a good girl, if that makes sense, right? So like I did things right, whatever that means, kind of like anchor my faith in accordance with my behavior. Does that make sense? And so then what happens is that if you don't these blessings or whatever it is in your life, and you go, "Ooh, I must be being bad, or I must be doing something wrong," right? And so then everything in your life becomes like this scale of good behavior versus bad behavior, blessings being poured down upon you because you're being praiseworthy, and then withheld from you because you're a bad person, right? And so everything about God all of a sudden becomes very conditional, and which is strange because we want to say that God's love is unconditional. Thing that's on in my head of putting conditions upon myself and viewing the world through those conditions. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, yeah. And so then as I kind of like walked away from that, I started to notice that I wasn't paying attention to all of my abundant blessings that were happening all the time. I started calling them different things. I started, going to this like union perspective, and we see that's a synchronicity, right? And these cool synchronicities in life, and then like looking for the synchronicities and things. And which really is just the same, right? It's just the same thing. It's just like another word for it. And so when Chris and I were driving, I was like, this is my challenge to everybody this month. I'm like, everybody is to like take a real hard note of, he's like, get as fired up as you were in the car. You guys don't want to hear that. There's children in the room. So just know it was strong and it was intense. And there were some expletives around. I was like, I want to encourage everybody to see the blessings in their life, right? And really deem those as like blessings. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so blessed. Oh, that's another one. So blessed. Oh my gosh, another one. So blessed. So the other night, our son Kay's his car broke down, and it was in the McDonald's parking lot, which I guess McDonald's is open 24 hours because you should be able to have diabetes any time of the day now. And he went there, and it was really late, and his car is a mechanic. And he is a mobile mechanic, right? And he knew exactly what was wrong with it and was able to, calm him down and rest him assured of everything. And like, so that's one of those blessings, right? Like a deep, deep, deep blessing. So then if he's wanting to get caught in that cycle, like I was saying before, then he go, oh, I must have earned that somehow because I did this nice thing and I did this thing. Karma tends to kind of follow us around, and then we can change the vernacular to punishment or blessings to karmic rewards, right? The karmic seeds that we plant and things like that. So it's funny because like all of this kind of follows the same cycle. It's just however you want to word it. The goal is to really make sure that you're paying attention to it. We get so caught in, I don't know, just the stories of our life, and energy today. And I kept on thinking, man, I just want to like get myself like back up again. And I can't really figure out how to do that. And but then I just start thinking about like these really cool things in my life and it like pulls me up out of that hole. So um, there's there's something to be said for reflecting on and seeking out the cool things that are happening in your life and then kind of putting that to that there's something or someone or whatever it is that's out there that's got your back. Do you know what I mean? It's like always got your back. It's always got your back. It's always got your back. Everything is always working out. Everything's always working out and everything's got your back and you're fine. And so, anyway, so that's what we're gonna do tonight, is we're going to count our blessings, and we don't have to name them by one, but we will make sure that they're in there, okay? And so, and then if we go into this space of just kinda, like, feeling a deep appreciation for it can be anything in the last, like, week, you know what I mean? It can just be one thing. Like I was saying about the cool thing about Case's car, I had a really cool situation where I did some Reiki for somebody, the other day and was actually able to stabilize their heart, and they had a really irregular heartbeat going on, and somehow able to stabilize that. And to me, that's like a miracle and blessing. So there's things that we do and that we have around us and available to us that are just constantly raining down on us. I want us to just take more note of that. So that's my challenge for every single person in this room, and I'm so excited that there's so many people in here tonight. Because think about what that can do. Like, if you start paying attention to the things that are happening in your life, vibration can shift. I really believe that. I really believe that vibration can shift, and I really believe that you will feel more driven to do whatever it takes to be aware of every beautiful thing that shows up in your life. And stop seeing, God or whatever it is you wanna call it as like a scorekeeper, you know? That's what my dad used to say all the time. He'd say, that the worst thing that you could do is keep score, because when you keep score on things, everybody actually loses. There's no winner at all. It just turns into like a tit for tat and it's yucky. So, and we know that that could not be whatever is holding us all together. Couldn't possibly be that. So, whatever that means for anybody. Okay, so let's go ahead and everybody sit up nice and tall, or if you need to lie down, please feel free to do so. Make sure that your feet are on the floor and your knees are to the ceiling, whatever feels best for you. Do we have any brand new meditators in the room? Oh, rightio. Okay. Well, this is gonna be fun for you. So mechanics of things, and you guys just follow along. So, Quentin, if you wanna shut the back lights off and then just I think the front ones, if you just turn it's probably good just the way it that's good. Yeah. You want it a little bit softer? Okay, but yeah, I don't care. You can turn it down. You can turn it down. It's okay, it's fine. Yeah, a little bit more even is good. Super cool. All right. So for those of you that are seated, we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna roll our shoulders back. We're gonna pretend that there is a marionette string connected to the crown of our head that's lifting up, which will automatically make your chin tuck in a little bit. Kind of lightly contract your stomach muscles enough that it just kind of centers your body a little bit. And then I like to think of sinking my butt flush down into the cushion so that I can comfortably get my head over my heart, my heart over my pelvis. We wanna loosen up our forehead.
and making sure that the eyes, all 4 corners of our eyes are soft, no scrunching shut. Sometimes if we even see just a little teeny sliver of light coming in, it's nice, but we don't want to have recognizable imagery through that slit. So it's like everything's kind of weirdly maybe even not in color if your eyes are not closed all the way. So check in with your jaw, be sure that it's not scrunched shut, that it's loose, making sure that your teeth are not clenched, that your tongue is loose, the tip of your tongue is soft, the back of your tongue is soft, pressing up against anything or crunch down. Mm. And then just feel that really nice inhale and exhale, the rise of your chest with the inhale, the fall. If you can include your diaphragm in that, that's nice so that the chest and the belly both fill up with air and both go down. You can have your hands palms face up if you want to. You can have them in chin mudra if you want to, which is with your thumb and your index finger gently touching. You can have your hands palms face down if you want to. If the room feels cold to you, you can have them resting in your lap. If you feel more feminine energy tonight, take your left hand and put it underneath your right. More masculine energy tonight, take your right hand and put it underneath your left. Both are correct. Gesundheit. Oh, you're perfect. So just allowing yourself to feel that centering in your body. We can start off with just the miracle of us, right? The miracle of our heartbeat, the miracle of our breath, the miracle of our blood moving through our body, the miracle of our skin protecting us from outside forces, the miracle of our immune system. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it needs a little help, but for the most part, it just completely takes care of us. The miracle of our senses, so that we can enjoy touch, so that we can enjoy taste, sight, smell, sounds, just that feeling of energy around us. Joining just the again, these things that we might take for granted, like our vehicles, gas in our car, roof over our head, soft beds to sleep in. But then we can look also the people in our lives, the situations where maybe somebody showed up for us at the right time, or we were the vehicle to bless somebody else's life, or we showed up in their life at the right time. And just noticing that reciprocal nature of that blessing. So everybody's imagery is going to be different in this room tonight as opposed to some of our other meditations where everybody's is hopefully somewhat guided down the same path. But just take a moment to really think about something in the last day or so that showed I was like, wow, that's really, really cool. As a miracle or a blessing in life. Now, the next goal in this is to resist the temptation to quantify it. So, no attachment to a behavior or an action on anybody's part, just sitting in the sheer space, everything coming together exactly perfect in that moment. And then, as if you could watch it from a third party perspective, as if you could just sit back in that movie perspective and just watch it without any attachment for the next minutes. Now, I'd like you to just notice how you feel physiologically watching that. Notice how your chest feels, your throat, your face, your inside of your body, the outside of your body, as you just recognize this perfect, cool thing that just came together. And now, just any form of gratitude that you want to attach to that. If you want to send that gratitude out to the universe, if you want to send it out to the God of your understanding, whatever it is, but with that gratitude, with that thanks, just be really clear in the thank you that there's so much more coming to you, that you will be more cognizant, more aware of these in that moment of gratitude, that you will be more aware, more cognizant in that. Thank you. Again, just one last time, check in with your physiology again, how you feel inside your body now that you've attached that gratitude to that. Allow yourself to be a little bit more aware of your breathing. Allowing yourself to be a little bit more aware of the feeling of the energy in the entire room. And you can very gently start to wiggle around a little bit, but let the eyes be the last thing to come back online. You know, I just I was just thinking about how uh, it's hard to do the simple things. There's a scripture in, I think it's the New Testament, that talks about that you need to wash yourself in the river 7 times or something. And there's a guy who was told that he didn't want to do it because it's just too simple to do. And I think about, like, Quentin will say, if I'm having a bad day, Quentin will say, "Did you eye patch today?" And I prescribe eye patching to all of my clients because I know how effective it is. And I'm like, "No." And this is like the same thing, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a really simple thing to just kinda let yourself sit in a moment of gratitude, but we don't do that, we get caught in the story. It's pretty it takes very little effort to, like, go somewhere and be quiet for a few minutes and, like, ground yourself and sit and breathe and go through some form of, gratitude cycle or paying attention to your breath and just regrouping, but we don't do it. We get just, like, to sit in our misery. I don't know what that is, like, we love drama, so we wanna, like, complain all the time, you know? I think it's 'cause humans like to problems to fix, so then we leave our problems kind of, like, hanging there, 'cause it's like, "Ooh, it's something to fix," you know? Instead of, like, it's really not that hard to not have it if we just go and do these other steps, but we kind of ignore them. So, anyway, so that's my challenge to everybody this week. Does anybody have anything that they wanna share with people? And, and if it was hard to do that, I understand, but, if there's anything you wanna share, I'd love to hear. No? Yeah. Mhm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. You too, Tamara, you felt
I was suffering. I was having really bad heartburn,
like
and I was. But when I was thinking about gratitude, I was thinking about how I share my gratitude with people. I love that. It brings so much.
I get so happy when I'm on that list. You have no idea how happy I am when you send that to
It's really
me.
cool to see what other people remember because you got to pick 3 different things every day. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love it. And then, so I couldn't really put the thing. I just feeling so overwhelmed. How do you feel in here and here in your throat? I was like, terrible. And then I thought, when you were talking about Reiki, I was like, well, can't I Reiki myself? I've done it before. So instead of using my hands, I pictured my hands Reiki myself. My heartburn is gone. It never goes away without bombs or pills.
Yeah. There we go. Blessing. It's
Freaking beautiful.
Yes.
Like, that is a flipping miracle.
Yes. Oh, I love that. That makes me so happy. Anybody else?
A little bit of a grudge with the gratitude because I felt something that I deserved sooner, even though it was something that was good that I'm worthy of, that I appreciate. I had a conflict there, and I wasn't expecting to have that. So it was a little bit of a challenge for me in that regard.
Yeah, I love that.
That's cool, yeah.
That's cool. Nice sitting. I love that. Good job. Good job. Because that's the thing. We get caught in those things. It's the stories, you know. That's why it's hard to do, and I'm not perfect at it. I suck at it often. It's that like separating from it a little bit. So you just view it as its own separate little thing, instead of attaching ourselves to it. It's when we're attached to anything, the blessing, the trial, whatever it is, as soon as we attach ourselves to it, that's where all the suffering comes in, right? If we can kind of pull it apart a little bit, like you were saying, everybody seems so much farther in the room. If we can kind of pull it apart a little bit and kind of view it over here, and we're not attached anymore, all of a sudden there's so much freedom, but it takes work to do that, especially when it's, something that you're like trying sunny side of the street on it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, all right, this is a blessing. You know what I mean? And we all go through those too. I mean, we all have those too.
For this thing?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
start with I think of like Care Bears and cotton candy, so we want to start there. Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm so happy for Care Bears and cotton candy and rainbows and unicorns. And, and then we can do darker stuff later once we get better at the easy, fluffy stuff. Um, okay, so week Christina Rich's article dance class, and it's the Wheel of Fortune is the theme for that class, and it is this Friday at 7 p.m. She puts so much work into that class. If you guys have never done it before, and so it's like a somatic experience, she kind of teaches you like a little cool thing about that card, and it's just interesting, really good information. She's very, very well studied in all of that. And so she just kind of shares it with you and then says, okay, so this is the theme for tonight. Now, as we dance, and she works really hard on her playlist. It's so cool. I was one of the classes that I took, I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." I know this is gonna sound really dumb, but not only does she have the song that we dance to, but then when she, like, pauses and then has everybody kinda, like, chill for a minute and relax, she still has music playing in the background. I know you think, "Okay, big deal," but, like, she's not a professional DJ, and, like, she does this, like, really detailed thing, and so you're always in this, like, state with it, and you have your eyes closed the majority of the time. I don't know how none of us bump into each other, but it's like nobody cares what you look like. You don't have to be a dancer. There is no skill involved. There was one chick a few months ago. She was just sitting and just feeling the vibe in the room. You know what I mean? Which is totally fine too. So if you don't want to dance, but it's such a good man what a release, and it's a workout. You are like because you dance as hard as you want to, so like you're cashed afterwards. So it's really cool. And then on Saturday we have our kids yoga class from 12 to 1:15. So taking advantage of that too. If you have littles, that's a really good class. She's cute. She's like a like a big kid trapped in that adult body. And so she does a really good job with the kids. Then next week, we have me again, but then on Thursday, we our sobriety circle. So if you know anybody who's in any type of a program at all or has ever been in any type of a program, encourage them to come to our class. That is on the second Thursday of every month, and is the facilitator. Wonderful. So please come if you can. And I think that's as far as I want to go. Announcements, make sure you grab a calendar on your way out if you don't have one. Yeah.
For those planning on doing this one, so I had a friend who just hiked in. She told me that everything's dead there right now. So we're going to move it to March, and we'll be doing Wave Cave in.
And Wave Cave is cool. I did it when I was recovering from COVID, and I didn't realize how hard it was going to be. And Chris and I we got to a certain point in the hike, and I was just like, I just thought to myself, just go ahead without me.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna lay here and die. And then, but by the time we got up into the actual wave, I was like, it's so worth it. So if I can do it for like recovering from COVID, you can do it. You can totally. Okay. Oh yeah. So pay attention for that. The Massacre Falls is really, really cool if you've never done that. It's a little bit long. Chris and I kept on asking. Yeah. But it's beautiful. No, but it's beautiful. It's totally worth it. We just didn't know, like, we got to one point, we asked these people, we're like, how much longer? And the guy's like, you just got on the trail. I'm like, what happened? Then we got to another point, we're like, how much longer? They're like, I don't know, quite a ways. Like, so when we got there, same thing. We're like, oh, yeah. It's, but it was totally worth it. It was totally worth it. So if Quentin gets that far enough up there, you guys need to go do it. Okie dokie, I think that's it, right, Quentin? Nothing else? Oh, that's right.
Sorry, guys, in the day two.
Yeah.
No one's gonna remember this. But grab it down.
Yeah, grab a calendar because that flamingo dance, that's another somatic release technique. That woman kind of healed herself from an really serious autoimmune disorder with some work with like a mixture of like Joe Dispenza's work and this other thing, and it's a really cool process that she does, and so she's doing a class for that. So that's on our calendar too. Okay, thanks everybody. Good night.